Hi, my name is Josh Allen. I'm the Director of Academic Programs here at Thunderbird, and today I've been invited to talk to you a little bit about the Thunderbird Applied Learning Programs, which is one of my favorite topics here at Thunderbird, travel. So let's get started. So the Thunderbird Applied Learning Programs, this is why you chose Thunderbird. It's going to be practical, it's applied, it's real world. And what this does is allows you to experience other cultures and other countries and expand your Thunderbird connections, your alumni, with other students. You get to learn from an expert professor, and you get to build a network of potential customers and partners. And last, and most important in my opinion, you get to have a lot of fun on these experiences. So let's do an overview of your entire program. So the Master of Applied Leadership and Management program is 30 credits, and it looks something like this. So I've taken this example of students who start in the fall, but really it can be anyone that starts in fall or spring. It kind of looks like this, and if you look at the fall semester, your second fall semester, you'll see it says here, Thunderbird Applied Learning Experience, either online or abroad. And then in session A of spring semester, again, the same thing. And how that is it's a 6-credit option. You get these options of whether you want to do that online, and there's a couple different options here. You get to do the Global Business Plan course, the Global Organizational Consulting course, or eventually down the road, we may have additional courses online. More importantly, I think, and again, this is why I'm here today, to talk a little about the travel, the international option, and this is included in your tuition. One experience is included in your tuition, which could be a global challenge lab or a global field seminar. And these are kind of two different options here. So the global field seminar is kind of more your traditional study abroad program. It's a large group, has a very simple application. It is 2 cities or 2 countries, or 1 city, 1 country. There's a company visits, guest speakers, versus the Global Challenges Lab, which is a small group. It's a more competitive application. There's 1 city, 1 country, and it's more of a small or medium enterprise consulting project. So let's talk a little bit more about the Global Challenges Lab here. What this is, again, it's a short-term consulting project. You're going to have a faculty mentor who's not there on site with you. They're actually virtual, so if you have questions, you can ask them. There is some pre-work, so there's a lot of research and client calls that you'll have to do all ahead of time. And then when you get there, there's a 1 week on site. The end of the course is a client deliverable, so you actually make your recommendation as if you were a consultant on the project, or you'll have a course deliverable, and you'll have a course deliverable, which will be the graded portion of the course. And so here's a couple examples of projects that we've done in the past. So you've got one here in Romania where they were working with a company that worked with doctors. And so that was a neat project. Here, an example of a project in Ecuador, in Quito, where they worked with chocolate manufacturers. And then here in Portugal, a lettuce company who was trying to expand their lettuce products throughout the entire EU. So this is the Global Consulting Lab. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time talking about the Global Field Seminar because I think a lot of students will be interested in this. And so what you have here is you have the this is an immersive overseas experience, and it's a mix of company visits and cultural visits to help you learn about the region. And so how it sets up, it's a 1 credit online ahead of time, and then 1 week on site, which is about 2 credits of the program. Then there's a little bit of a deliverable due afterwards. That's an online paper. So again, what I was talking about here is you're going to learn about what affects business in the region. You're going to learn about the challenges and opportunities and the history and the culture and the politics. And we're going to do that through these areas. We're going to do through company visits, cultural visits, guest speaker, and again, networking with the alumni, networking with your classmates, and getting in that way. So we've done these field seminars all over the world. And so I'm going to go through a few different locations here. You'll notice here we're going to start in South America. There's a couple different locations here, and in the interest of time, I'm only going to talk about one. I apologize, but I want to keep this short. So we're going to fly to Lima, Peru. Lima, Peru, we have a great alumni network. Thunderbird is very well known in Lima, and so you can see some of the visits there, what we've done in the past. Procter & Gamble, Bacchus Brewery, You can do, we do a city tour. There's some extra cultural things where you can go out and swim with seals there. You can see at the bottom of the picture there. Lots of really fun opportunities. Again, good alumni connections here. This is a sample schedule. Now I realize that this is a video and that you're gonna have to probably pause it at this point to look at it, but you can kind of see these are long days. It's a very busy program. It starts on Monday and has some class time and then a city tour, and then goes through visits, different over the week, different visits and different things that you're doing, and then ending class on Saturday with a farewell dinner. But your hotel's covered from Sunday to Sunday, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But this is just kind of give you an idea of what the sample schedule will be like on one of these programs. So going from South America, we're actually going to fly over to Europe, and I'm going to do Prague here. Again, Prague is another location that Thunderbird's had connections with for a really long time. We've got great visits like Skoda Auto, Toyota, GE Aviation, and then on a cultural side, definitely get out to see Kutna Hora and the ossuary, the bone chapel, which is kind of interesting there. But Prague, great city, lots of good fun times there. From there, we're going to fly to Istanbul. In Istanbul, we've done several different visits there, Coca-Cola, General Electric. Of course, if you're in Istanbul, you have to do a Bosphorus cruise to see the sites there from the water, and then of course Hagia Sophia and the history there. From there, we're going to fly to South Africa, and South Africa is a very interesting city, as all of our locations are. But one of the things I love about South Africa is this first visit here at Nando's Chicken. If you don't know anything about Nando's Chicken, it's a fantastic fast food restaurant chain that was started in South Africa. They've got a great sauce called peri peri sauce. You got to try it. On a cultural side, definitely going to the Apartheid Museum and perhaps a short safari, a really quick out of the city to Pilanesberg, which is fun, and you can see the elephants. Hopefully, as long as the animals cooperate. You never know on those safaris. But definitely a great opportunity to see, get introduced to the challenges and opportunities of doing business in Africa and doing in South Africa there. All right, we're going to fly real quick here to the Middle East, Dubai. Great city, again, good Thunderbird connections here as well. Emirates Airline is an example there. And then, of course, while we're in Dubai, we've got to go over to Abu Dhabi and see the Grand Mosque, which is the pictures at the top of the screen there. As well as on a cultural side, we're going to do a desert safari where you can ride camels if you choose. So that's another fun experience. In Asia, I'm going to start in Delhi. Delhi, obviously, if you're on the cultural side, we'll try and get out to the Taj Mahal. An example of visits that we've done in the past, Eli Lilly, Delphi Automotive. We also did a home visit where we actually got into the home of Indian consumer and got to kind of experience, talk to them a little bit. How do you shop? What do you buy? These types of things. So cool. From there, we're going to go to Singapore. Singapore, we've done pretty big Fortune 500 companies there. You can see Google, Levi's, DHL, Dell, Microsoft are some of the examples that we've done. On the cultural side, you definitely have to see, to get out and see the Merlion is one of the pictures there on the lower left. And on the lower right there, that is the Raffles Hotel where the Singapore Sling drink was originated. So that's kind of fun experience there in Singapore. One last, we're going to do one little thing here. We're going to look at the schedule for Singapore just to kind of compare and contrast. Again, you may want to pause it at this point and kind of look over an example, but same kind of thing. We're going to start the program on Sunday, checking in the hotel with a welcome dinner. Then there's some class time on Monday with a city tour. Then visits spread out throughout the week. Again, sometimes there's the late nights, like Tuesday night, you're going to do the first Tuesday event with the alumni. And then over the week, company visits, cultural visits, and then on Saturday end up with presentations. Actually, this class, there's a on-site presentations and then the farewell dinner there on Saturday night. Okay, one last stop here in Sydney. Again, we've done Sydney a couple times. Procter & Gamble again, Boeing. There is an alumni chapter in Sydney, as we have in all of our major worldwide cities. And so they have great connections with companies and guest speakers coming into the classroom and things. like that. With Sydney, obviously, we're going to take you to the Opera House and the Harbor Bridge as kind of your bucket list items that you need to check off. So again, we've done these in lots of cities, and if you have questions, you can reach out to me or your academic advisor, and we can advise you on kind of what's coming up next and what we've done in the past. But from here, I'm going to kind of give you an overview of the kind of the timeline of how this works. So we offer these twice a year. This is both the Global Challenge Lab and the Field Seminar are offered twice a year. So you got spring break, which is in March each year, and you've got a fall break in October. And you can see here we open up applications for the spring break programs in September the year prior, so September of this year, and then you would travel in March of next year. And then for the fall break programs, we open applications in February, and then you can travel in October. And so how this happens is it's a first come, first availability. You have to go in and confirm. You have to register. That is an application process through Study Abroad, the ASU Study Abroad office. And for the field seminars, we have a maximum of 25 students and a minimum of 15 students. For the Global Challenges Lab, it's a small group, so you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 5 students. Again, that's why it's a little bit more competitive application there. The estimated costs for the field seminar would be the $50 application fee, the program fee, which varies depending on location. But remember, one of your field seminars or your Global Challenge Lab is included in the tuition you pay for the program. So you can kind of plan that into your budget. If you're going to do one, it's included. If you're going to do a second one to fulfill those 6 credits, you're going to have to think through, okay, that's an additional $2,500 to $3,500. The 3 credit hour tuition, you're going to pay either way. These are programs, so whether you do an online course or you do the travel, these are going to be included. Again, when you're looking at your budget, other expenses to think about are your airfare, your passport, visa, and some food. You definitely want to experience the food while you're in country. I'm not going to talk too much about the cancellation policy other than to say that there is a cancellation policy. We start planning as soon as you say you're going, we start planning on you going, and we make arrangements with tour companies. So the closer you are to trip and then you back out, the more expensive it's going to be. So just a couple general tips to talk a little bit more about the schedule. I mentioned this earlier and you saw a couple of the sample schedules, but there is some online content during session A. So the first part of this semester, so if you're traveling during like fall break or spring break, the first part of the semester would be online content, and then you travel during the week. It's a 1 week. First Sunday is the check-in. The actual time or anything will depend on the location, and then the opening dinner that night or perhaps on Monday night. The following Saturday, there may be an optional excursion, and then the closing dinner is that night. The second Sunday is travel. So again, your hotel's covered from the first Sunday to the last Sunday. There's no official checkout. There are some exceptions to this schedule, but generally this is Sunday to Sunday, with the first part of the program starting early Monday morning. The class part, I should say. So what does Thunderbird provide? What is part of this program fee that you're paying? Obviously, we're paying for the faculty members that will help you get into the corporations. We do offer the local and cultural activities. That program fee covers your hotel, your lodging. So that may be single or double occupancy, depending on the location, depending on the price of the fee that we're paying. Transportation to all of the visits, and then some food. It also includes travel health insurance. I think that's a great bonus that you have. You don't have to worry about that. You're covered as part of a large ASU policy there. Just another couple thoughts here as you kind of start thinking about travel and thinking, okay, how does this fit into my program? Just realize that there may be some costs associated with visa, the airfare. All of that is kind of your own responsibility. Check your passport now. Don't wait too long to see if you need to renew or anything like that. And of course, we travel in most major cities, or will be in major cities. So don't take a lot of cash. We recommend that you use the ATM machines there and here. And I turn it on the side. The main point of this is be willing to experience things that you've never seen or done before. That's the whole reason you're there. Enjoy it. It's awesome opportunity to network with classmates and the alumni and just have fun. One of the questions we get a lot is about guests. There is a one guest policy, which is limited to your spouse, partner, or fiance. And this person must register with ASU. There is a package that's available that they can pay for to be included in some of the activities over the week, but they're not allowed to participate in classroom activities. So no company visits, no guest speakers. Just remember, when you look at that schedule you saw it, it's very busy. You're going from 8 a.m. in the morning to 8 p.m. at night. So becomes very active, and so it's hard to think, okay, if I had a spouse on this program, what would that mean? So we do recommend that you travel with them either before or after, because you're going to be very busy over those days. But we understand this is a family program, and you're being supported by someone or multiple people, and so we do want this to be an opportunity for them to travel with you. So that's why we've introduced the guest policy here. Just as a reminder, these are courses. It is an academic program. You will have assignments. You'll have case studies and things to read ahead of time. You are required to attend the lectures and guest presentations on site. And then, like I mentioned earlier, there is a reflection paper after. So there is a deliverable due, a graded assignment that you'll have to do. So plan for that. And there we have it. So this is kind of, again, I just go back to this because it's you can kind of get an idea of when we're traveling. You can get additional information at studyabroad.asu.edu. And like I said, if you have questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Thank you.